Hey, good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Bobo Backchat. This is episode 2. A couple of interesting things to discuss this evening. But yeah, Ali and I went out fishing today. Didn't use much electronics, I must say. We kind of went out there and did it wild style, old days, old school. But yeah, it was interesting. So another serious topic at the moment is obviously about all this mapping and stuff. So for sure, there's some really awesome products out there. Fish Tech's making some great stuff. Lake Master, Navionics, everybody's making some good stuff. But yeah, it's quite weird, you know. We sit and check out what's happening with this whole story, and listen to the guys talking about, well, we sit at home and we turn our TVs on and do practicing and stuff. Well, yeah, that doesn't really work for me. I need to get out on the water and go and spend some time out there. The sad thing is that our lakes are like really, really small. You know, like I said, the mapping that has been done in South Africa is really, really good. In fact, it's so good that, you know, you go to like one of our smaller lakes and there's probably 18 or let's say max of 20 really definitive spots. The problem is when you start these tournaments, you know, unless you boat 1 to 30, you pretty much don't even have a shot at getting to them. So it's all good and well sitting in your living room practicing, but if you're not finding an alternative plan, you're gonna come up short. So although it's an amazing system, and it gives you a lot of opportunities, especially as the new guys coming out, yeah, if you don't make an alternative plan, you're gonna need to really scratch it out to catch a couple of bass. So yeah, it's quite weird. So, you know, you got to use all the tools that are available to you. Like today, it was just weird. You know, we went fishing and never relied on a lot of stuff. Just went fishing, cruised down the bank with a trolling motor, and just did things old school. And it was enjoyable, number one, and yeah, not, you know, finding new stuff. That was probably really one of the highlights of us getting out there today and doing something different. Al, what do you say? I mean, you know, you've been fishing with me for a while. We've had the opportunity to purchase specific maps and we don't use them. I mean, what's your feeling on it?
It's a very sensitive topic in regards to everyone. Obviously runs different brands. Obviously me starting at the tender age of 17 in bass fishing and all that stuff, I've always only strictly used Hummingbird. I've only been ever taught how to find bass is to go out, you side image, you find your fish, you can generate your own charts. Even now with the new Lake Master stuff, I used it quite extensively in the past divisionals in certain areas, like where there's certain, you know, humps and whatever that are closer to the river channels, and you really need to dial in exactly where the top of the hump is. Now, yeah, the contour charts are awesome, Lake Master's awesome, I could highlight whatever, so I was highlighting depth ranges of 10 to 20, 25 foot. That got me to, obviously, there was a few key areas, 5 or 6, But then I was starting to notice when I was on the trailing motor and going over these spots, there was a little bit of a discrepancy with the depth. So what I did was I turned on my auto trot, and then I went over the area with the trailing motor, not with the outboard. Because don't want to be scratching rocks with a prop. And I was actually getting that more refined detail going up and down. They're just fishing, milling around, throwing a jig, throwing a crankbait. And coming back to the tournament, I was able to really just put the trailing motor down, line up the shot or line up the cast, and make the accurate cast with the 360, and obviously with the map, with obviously the proper bearings and whatnot, with the heading sensor and all that stuff. And obviously got 2 good results, a 1 and a 2. And that obviously boiled down to making the right cast, getting on top of the right specific contour, casting onto the high spot, not left of it, not right of it, wasting the time, being efficient. And also a nice thing is, like Justy said now, is it's very tough to, I don't know, it's just me I guess, or I might relate to many other people, but to practice just sitting there, not on the water, not getting a feel for the water temperature. The thing is, you can go and run all the areas, you can go run all the spots. The thing is, you might not find anything. Like another thing that I was noticing, I was finding points which had nothing on, small stumps maybe. The thing is, I was finding fish on points that were going out to the river channel that were just harder, harder bottom, like a harder clay or some pebbles or whatever. I was able to find that stuff with a bottom hardness, that you can easily see it while you're side imaging and all that stuff. The auto trot allows you to check the bottom hardness with color palettes and all that stuff, which helped. And I mean, I've caught it, it wasn't groundbreaking or anything. I've got a limit, like doing that. It's just, it's different. You're not going to do that while sitting at home. You need to physically be there, casting at it, and just being involved or being in touch or in tune with your surroundings and how you're fishing.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, like we were discussing earlier, those, like I said, those maps are really good. The sad thing is that unless the surveyors are updating them every 2 or 3 months, there is so much change going on. I mean, you take these lakes that we fish that constantly fluctuate level wise. There's always fresh laydowns, that kind of stuff coming in. The grass is constantly changing as you're fishing, and unless, like I said, unless the surveyors are doing their updates consistently, you're still left with those couple of spots that everybody will know about.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty about Humminbird products, is that your 360 paired with your Mega Live, just getting out there and cruising down the bank, fishing as you would, you tend to find things that nobody else has had the opportunity to find, and I think that makes a huge difference for the guys that run that system. It's just like I said to you, it's like the where the weed lines push out, where it makes a slight turn, the fresh emerging vegetation. You don't get that stuff. I mean, we have the capability of making side scan mosaics live on Humminbird. Okay, it's really cool for me to do that. I don't bother. Okay, we all fish differently.
Yeah.
I put the trolling motor down, I run my 360, it turns, it says to me, hey buddy, the weed line is now pushed out, since you were here last time, probably another 7 or 8 foot off the point. You make the cast precision to that end of that point, you catch a fish.
Yeah.
And sorry to say that, mapping boys out there, the guys that do the surveying, and like I said, if you ain't doing it every 2 months, 360 is going to find it. You ain't going to find it. You ain't going to update your mapping. But it is, like I said, we're not here to bash people. That mapping is awesome. It puts the guys on specific spots that we don't need to be fishing because everybody knows about.
Yeah.
We're looking for something different. Our products supply you that something different. So, well, Al, I think a very debatable topic again. Probably annoy one or two people.
Yeah.
We're not here to do that.
No.
We're just here to give you the facts.
That's not our intention
It's
at all.
not our intention at all. But yeah, use a combination of both. I think it does definitely help a lot of people, like I said, that are getting into the sport. It kind of puts you on an area and it gives you an idea.
Yeah.
The accuracy, that's the other thing I wanted to mention, which is very important. You can go to a rock pile, put the 360 down, and that rock pile is probably 5 to 10 meters off of the actual visual that you've got. The 360 does not lie.
Yeah.
Okay, that thing will put you smack bang on the money and will show you exactly where you need to be casting.
So it's regardless of whether you
Yeah.
mosaic it, Google image it, I don't know, take a photo with your camera.
Send an American bomber drone in there.
Exactly.
360 is still going to give you the correct answer. So
there's always going to be like a little offset or some kind of the GPS, pin, I don't know the exact stuff, but I've seen it countless times on, the very rare times that I have fished on other people's boats with multiple brands and all that stuff. There is some discrepancy there, even with the hummingbird stuff.
Yeah.
When we do the Google images and all that stuff, it just localizes the stuff. It makes it easier to find when you're thundering down racing, which is now becoming really like, I mean, for me, I can't compete because I only can run a 73, but it's fine.
it didn't seem to bother you at the last tournament, boss.
No,
you catch them good there.
But I mean, if you're not, you must always be, the time on the water is key. Because like even, sorry to go on another ramble, but even if, it's not a deep water bite, you don't know that by sitting and looking at a, for us, I even go onto a contour map and I go, this is like a place and that. The thing is, you can go there, you can cast, you won't catch a bass, you can do that the whole day, but the dude that is literally 10 meters down the way, paneling the bank with a spinnerbait, crankbait, fluke, whatever, frog, is going to win because you never check that because you're always trying to find something offshore. That's, fish are weird, they move, they've got fins, if the water temperature is 2 degrees cooler because the rain's come, that might pull them out from wherever they're hiding up to the shallows and they're going to go chow bait fish. You don't know that.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to know that is if you're going to go and put the time in on the water.
Yeah, old school. Old school's definitely not dead. All this new forward-facing sonar and seriously high definition mapping. Well, it's all good, but it's gonna die. Those fish are gonna get clever. And those guys that have got the built-in skills, the natural talent to go out there and find fish the old way we used to do it, where you paddle down the bank, throw a spinnerbait, have a look on the outside, find a laydown, find a rock pile, find a new weed edge. Those are the guys that are going to come through at the end of the day. And it's long term. It's not a short term thing.
No.
But that is what it is. But anyway, good chatting with you, buddy.
Yep.
And well done on your last tournament.
Thanks.
And thank you to everybody out there. And like I said, we're not here to bash your products, and we're just here to talk about the reality of it. And the reality is that chasing your 20 rock piles in your living room, they ain't fishing, buddy. Get out there, get on the water, learn to use your equipment, and yeah, enjoy your fishing.